I think that I'm a catcher Ghana, yeah, very reactionary people are issues abontia. That is where you see panic. You visit on the the outcomes, but we don't focus on the actual causes of some of these things because the CEA, like I'm not sure anybody is surprised about this whole thing.
Yeah.
Because answer na encourage exams are results in the beba say a positive and I say a negative no a long-term exercise happen from somewhere.
Exactly, yeah.
So you cannot just look at the outcome when it happened and so when the results came, I saw on social media folk of Haruna you know what the results now to him say you see this is a narrow way of thinking because no more real school and they know their preparation started Haruna Idrisu you first ordinary Ghanaian and all parliament. So outcome now reflected if the fact I see a narrow does not mean that when it's an insistent and near more and I'm at the outcome aba. Now I think there is a communication from the GES a communicating more stress results now but actually reflect the state of play and then because for the first time they implemented a very stringent invigilation mechanism. You know very well say most of the teachers are facing prosecution because about over 600 individuals were with mobile phones inside examination hall using AI. They solve a question. Some foreign materials and then as a for no. So the scale not sanema way cost no not it was quite obvious and I think specific instruction was given from the ministry to invigilators say conducted in any examination malfeasances, they will make sure that you'll be penalized.
Yeah.
And you see, some of these things have political undertones. You cannot just glide and let it go. My culture say over the years, you politicize the entire SSCE, WASSCE results, because a certain political decision was taken to ensure that we roll out free SHS program for a particular group of people, students in this country. So the government was focused on the outcome. Some certain political dividend from that particular thing. So several desperate measures were put in place to ensure that they achieve that. So the focus wasn't about the training and influencing, and I said improving the academic potential of the Enkrano. Now, the focus was on the outcome. That is it. So over the years, the whole concept of secondary school policy, the success was premised on examination outcome. And that was the whole idea. So certain decisions were taken. For instance, so here you have the past questions, time of Mainsika, over 53 million Ghana cedis procure, and chairman for some of this initiative because the education, the essence of education isn't about student passing exams. But how prepare now adequately in charge of his own life. Now the subsequent decision when in social environment problem how they are able to tackle all these things. But in Western times, we don't impact students. We don't train them to become anybody. And I said we don't impact them to build their moral and your friends say faculties. Responsible people. Now how to get your A and B's and go. And it's the idea activating, motivating government to take some of these decisions. And also don't forget, in recent time, 2020, Akufo-Addo Aban and taking a decision to break away from WAEC, West African examination over the years. Now we are West Africa for natural exam. But since 2020, we broke away. So the whole internal examination machinery was under the control of the Ghanaian government. So that is why some of the results because the motivation behind it is let us get the student to pass to reflect the policy and I am successful. The gauging point was the examination outcome. So a lot of desperate measures, including the parting away with your friends say WAEC, and they gave reasons your friends covered a whole lot of funny reasons but the reality was that to be able to have absolute control of the results and get things done in a way about reflecting the kind of political dividends that they say achieve, And this time around, and I'm saying there has been a change of government, new government, the same line I'm for them in terms of results. Yesterday, not many or say so Maakye exams now. what mean mark student who knows the person is unable to cross 50 plus and then as a for them. But they were just insistent said they should make sure that pass him or more because a nipa no failure. Nipa no failure.
Yes.
Nipa no failure. What's in life? So they should push them and make sure that they all go forward. You understand?
Innocent. So my question is, all this while, yeah. The stakeholders, no, key stakeholders, no. I'm out. I'm here to condemn whatever.
Yeah, that is the problem we have.
Now we are facing this reality, and people are talking about it.
That is the other side of your society, and also don't forget the victimization. I had master cry. I say, to say we invigilator, we share something. So I think we need to accept this reality. Say and reflect the actual state of play, and to go forward, you know. What are the measures that you go just to ensure that education in this particular country, the actual purpose and the focus for its establishment? Because my say, as I'm say, education isn't about it is about preparing the person adequately. So I face the realities of life, but I'm Ohiana Adrian African, you know. Yeah, they said the whole essence of education say fakope juma, but we the focus of education is we are now it will only enhance your capacity. But first of all, the focus is on you as an individual. Wherever you find yourself, the education is supposed to enhance you and prepare you to face social life. But at the designation of our educational system, no, do not take into account some of these things. We do everything desperately just to ensure that the focus is on exams. And unfortunately, even if you go to our universities, it's the same thing there. The focus is on the university. Thinking that the exams is the punishing point. Or make the child. But the whole period, no, how many days natural exams? Sometimes 2 weeks, 1 week. Yeah. So are you telling me, sir, the whole years now, the whole months now cannot spend it on campus, you know? I don't know there, but exams now about pass. I don't know here. I think we need to redesign and retool our educational system just to ensure that now no matter so been so funny reasons so a teacher for your more young come one sem and not come and crana say you see these are primitive arguments that you should make because me my catcher man was there the option bad the abu akrana na say for no and yes and then na ma discipline and discipline because when you get to a certain age so far Erickson the psychosocial theory of human development, no, offer adult center 12 to 18 years. And when secondary school, no, that is the stage of find themselves in. And the thing there is your friend said identity versus confusion. And when you are in a secondary school, at that particular way, no, you are struggling to identify who you really are. That is why in developmental stages in life, you know, baby, I'm for taking a young kwasi in my secondary school. Yes. Obi to confirm kwasi dimbi to okay dimbi or secondary because at that age, you know, you are struggling for identity. What I say? You are struggling for identity to identify yourself. Say you belong here, you belong here. So they go through a lot of experimentation as young people at that particular age. So at that age, you know, the primary focus should be on the kind of training and what they man or something about me ground. In a particular identity. No what chance that this is your role. So from here, no, you pursue and go forward. But some of these psychosocial developmental our educational system don't even take into consideration. The focus is exams oriented. So one pass here was so useless person who be that. So pass here, you are prominent. You understand?
Yes. So this is what